Welcome everybody, and thank you for attending today's webinar from Ecommerce on how to improve customer experience and streamline your business process with Business Central integrated e-commerce. Please use a question box and the questions will be answered after the demo. If you run out of time or if it requires a bit longer, then we'll answer offline with you. We'll also send you a link afterwards to view the webinar. So this is our monthly webinar on as part of the T-Vision series of webinars. And basically we talk about ways to gain more efficiencies from Business Central. And you can sign up for as many webinars as you like. So my name is Danusha Jolliffe and I'll be facilitating today. I am the marketing manager here at T-Vision and I've been working in the business for just over 4.5 years now. I'm also joined by Alex today from Sana, who'll be doing the demo today, and he's their UK Partner Alliance Manager. Now, as per the invite that we sent out to you, over the last 18 months, we found that many businesses have found the split between online and offline selling has shifted dramatically. So more and more businesses are turning to e-commerce options to meet the customer demand and also reach new markets. Now, this shift has brought with it a need for greater and better integration between a business's finance system or ERP and its web store. And that's the reason we've organised this webinar for you, to offer options to our clients for their e-commerce requirements. So over to you, Alex, for the demo.
Thanks for that. So I'll be taking you through our agenda today. We're going to talk about interfaced versus integrated e-commerce, how integrated e-commerce will benefit your business, improve your customers' buying experience, and how we leverage your existing ERP data to actually power your web store. So I've got a few slides to go through. But ideally, I want to show you the product. I want to show you it working and the various options available today as well. So we'll spend more time looking at the software. So to meet the evolving needs of your customers, deliver the same experience online that's made you successful offline. So many of our existing customer base and customers we talk to tend to have quite complex requirements or niche products. And e-commerce generally has always been a bit of a challenge for them. They have built their business on referrals. They've been running their business for quite some time, and the transition to e-commerce is quite difficult because they might have complexities around their B2B business that's quite difficult to actually take that online. So they do tend to what we come across customers who might have launched a entry-level e-commerce project or potentially built their own. And a lot of the efforts tend to fall short, and that's because a lot of the sort of mainstream e-commerce solutions and entry-level products don't have all of the functionality that you would require, especially through B2B e-commerce. So we do work with a lot of customers who might be on their first, second generation e-commerce solution. They might, like I said, have those customized solutions in-house that they've built. They work standalone. And a lot of the solutions out there in the market are really built around B2C. So when customers want to start going down an omnichannel route and offering, maybe direct to consumer, B2B and B2C, they can fall short because they don't offer all of the functionality that's needed. And that's because typically they are interfaced solutions. So just to give you an idea of what that is you would basically have separate API integrations between all of the various elements within your ERP, your Business Central solution. So you'd have a link towards the sort of the pricing. So if you've got specific segmented pricing or user-specific pricing, then there would be an API to pull that through. You'd have one through to all of your stock and all of your items from there, the customer information, the shopping basket, the ordering process. All of these separate APIs basically need to be built from the ERP into the e-commerce solution. You have to maintain both of those systems separately. You have to rebuild all of your ERP data in the web store to make it work, and a lot of these projects can be quite complex. And these are because they're siloed. Okay, so they're the options. It's built standalone. You can actually operate a lot of these e-commerce solutions standalone, actually without an ERP. So a lot of them can be managed through sort of CSV and Excel imports, which can obviously cause a lot of issues. And it's all those siloed systems that the main problems arise. So not all of the data in one system is available in the other. So when we talk about compromises, it might be a case of, they can see the right price and the order gets processed, but there might be synchronization issues, delays. There might be specific information from the ERP that you really need as part of that sales process that just isn't available. Not all of the functionality is available in the other as well, so they might have a set API integration points where we can pull through 10 bits of information from Business Central, but not all of that functionality is available, so it's very limited. Synchronization issues is probably the biggest issue we tend to come across, where it might be an address has been updated, but it hasn't gone through to the e-commerce platform. Might be you've done a price change and the price change hasn't gone through, so the old prices are still showing in the website and there's a delay, which means people are ordering with incorrect pricing, or stock issues aren't updating, so people are ordering when stock's not available. And you know, we've probably all done this from a commercial point of view as well, where we've placed orders and all of a sudden you've got it in your basket and then it's not available, and things like that. You place an order and you get contacted saying sorry, it's not actually there. You know, synchronization issues is probably the biggest concern we do come across through these sort of platforms. And changes need to be made twice, which obviously, you know, when you talk about the logistics and how smooth your business is operating, especially from being customer centric, it's not great when you have to make all of those changes in 2 different platforms, because those issues can arise, which can really affect that customer buying journey. So what if you could make your ERP solution and your e-commerce solution work as one? And that's really where we come in. So rather than separate interfacing projects using these various API connectors, we actually plug inside the ERP and we utilize all the data within there. So we have a quick and smart integration. There's only one system to maintain, so that's the way Sana sees it. So we work with Microsoft across the whole Microsoft ERP stack. We plug straight into it, and now all the businesses we talk to are running their whole business using the ERP. That's where all that business critical data is. So let's just utilize the data that's already there to actually power the web store itself. We have a separate area where we can control the look and feel of the actual web store itself. But actually the key information is visible directly from the ERP, which basically eliminates those system silos. There's no unnecessary complexities around that as well. And when we talked about the compromises that businesses have to make, it can eliminate that as well. So all the ERP data is available in the e-commerce platform. So we have about 46 standard out-the-box integration points between the ERP and the e-commerce solution. But if there was key critical data or information that you really wanted to display, you might think, well, in the My Account section, we'd really like to show them this. Or within the shopping cart, we want to show them this. Then we can do that. So we can fully customize the solution to suit your needs. All of the functionality is also available, so we don't have to worry about maybe you have different kind of order processing or shipping needs. Whatever is done in the ERP, we can replicate that, because that's where we're pulling that critical data from. Single source of data, or single source of the truth, shared between both solutions. So if you update something within Business Central, then it's going to be displayed in real time in the e-commerce platform itself. So you just manage all of the data in, and it will just flow through to your online store, which means changes only have to be made once in one system and not in both systems, which basically makes our solution very, very user-friendly. And what I want to do now is really show you the various options that are available from our platform. So I'm just going to come out of here and go into our homepage.
Alex?
So, oh, yes, hello.
Yeah, so we just had a question saying, do you find that you work with one sector in particular, or will it work across a number of sectors?
Yeah, so we work literally across every single sector, and I'll go through that, you know, whether that'll be retail, that's more sort of B2C focused, mainly sort of manufacturing, retail, construction, distribution, and wholesale are probably our main ones. We've got a lot of food and beverage have been coming to us, especially in the sort of last 12 to 18 months. The only sectors we probably don't really work strong across would be, public sector and maybe service-led organisations, and that's because they're not necessarily selling goods as such online, and are more looking for corporate websites. We do have availability to have like a portal, which I'll show you shortly, if you were just looking for self-service and a corporate website. But typically, we work across all industries where there's a requirement, but typically our strong suit would be in B2B as well, or omni-channel rather than B2C standalone.
Right, thank you.
So this example here, it would actually be, this is an omni-channel experience. So this is an open web store, and it's our sort of demo store, Outdoorer, which basically, when I talk about an open web store, it means if you just wanted to come across my company, Outdoorer, and you just went online and looked for us, you would be able to come onto the website itself, go and view all of the categories within here. You'd be able to purchase from here as well. So it's very much a consumer B2C type buying experience. We talk to a lot of businesses who are B2B only, and they have like a closed trade store. So in that instance, when you just came across Outdoorer, there would be a login page, and you'd actually have to log in before you could actually view and see and place orders through the store itself. So we would have an open and closed store in that respect. We've re-platformed our store. So we did this last year. So our technology is now run on a React platform. And what that has allowed us to do is really make the solution a lot faster and load up the information there. So if I scroll through, you can see some of those images were just loading up in the background there. So it will load all of the information that's available at that time, which is very important when it comes to people shopping personas that we've seen, especially in the last sort of 24 months. A lot of people are shopping via mobile devices, which means we have to be optimized to work on those devices and make the solution as fast as we can. So we've really been able to speed up our solutions off the back of the new technology as well. We can see all of our sort of menus at the top here. Those can be controlled by yourself through our sort of admin design area, and all of these various subcategories underneath are all controlled as well. And we actually give you all of the tools in-house to develop these sites yourself. So you can add all of these images and everything using the technology that's available to you, rather than using outside agencies. And we tend to find that we do get quite a few Magento customers come to us where they've been going through a Magento partner. They want to make tweaks and changes and update the website and maybe be a little bit more agile and put in promotions and maybe put in blogs and things like that. And there's always a cost to adding these things in, whereas we actually give you the tools to manage all of that front-end content yourself. Okay, so I'll cover that off in a bit, but what I really want to cover off now is the integration piece with the ERP and the benefits around Sana. So if I just go through the site, if we just go through to bikes here, and I'll just go through to road bikes, what we see here, the information that's coming through from the ERP, we do have the image that's coming through, we have the product description, we have the product SKU and the price, and whether or not it's in stock. So you can set parameters for in stock, out of stock, or low stock, and it's all color coded from there. So that's all coming through from the ERP. And also on the left-hand side, we have product attributes. So we have the frame size, wheel size, accessory name, bike color, and depending on what sort of product they're looking at, all the different attribute menus would change on the left-hand side. And let's say it was a different color bike that came into stock, then as soon as you put that into the ERP and you add that in, you can show it as visible in the web store. And as soon as you do that, it will actually add the new bike color attribute on the left-hand side. So you don't have to think, well, how do we get this new product on here and be able to search on it? The system will do that automatically, which I think is a real good time saver for the e-commerce solution as well. So we don't control any of this information. Like I said, it's all coming through from the ERP. If we click into this particular bike, we support reviews, so you can view any reviews that are done, especially if it's more, you're looking maybe a B2C consumer site as well, and you can pre-read those and approve them, so they're displayed on here. we can add in advanced descriptions for products as well. So you might find that you have a basic description of the product within the ERP, but you want an advanced description on the website itself. So just give you an idea of what that looks like. If I just copy that and we'll go into Business Central. I'm just going to go to an item in here, and we are just going to search for that item number that I just copied. So here we go. So this is the bike we were looking at online, and this is what it looks like within Business Central. So we will see the image is actually stored within the ERP. So that's the image we've pulled through here. We can see the attributes are all there as well, and you could change those attributes. So at the top, if we just go to item and attributes, we could go and add additional ones in or change them, and that would basically sort out the filtering to how this product can be found on the website. Okay, and then once you add new products in here, like documents as well, this has got 3 documents attached to it, so they would be stored there. But if we come through, we do have attachments, and we have documents that are available, like user manuals that can be downloaded and warranties and things like that. So they can be added from here. And at the bottom here, we have visible in web shop. So you can choose if you've got some products that you want to sell online and some you don't. As soon as you click the visible in web shop option, then that will be projected into the actual web store itself, and you'll be able to go and view that from here as well. And you've also got your sort of base unit of measure and everything like that in here. Okay, so all of that is stored within here, and we just pull it through. And if we want to elaborate on the basic information that's been pulled through from the ERP, we have the option in here. So we can actually go to a specific product page in here, and if I just add that product in, I can have a look at what that page looks like. So I've now typed in an advanced description of that product in here. And if we go to images, I can actually add in multiple images rather than just maybe a stock image that's been brought through from the ERP. So if you have loads of different images from different angles, they can all be brought through from here. And we can also go and change content. So you can go and add in videos or imagery or whatever you want actually onto the product page. They can all be customized just by doing that from here, and then you can preview all of that. So I think the key thing is the critical data, which would be the price, the stock availability, any volume discount, the attributes and everything like that will all be pulled through from Business Central, but we give you all the tools and control to actually make the store look like however you want to make it to look, basically. We can see we support variants, so if you have products that have variants within your solution, we can support those as well. Okay, but I think the key thing is when the things that I'm showing you here, it's a very much B2C end user consumer view. This is how they would shop, you know, add to cart, the whole compare elements within there. If we go and log in at the top, we're going to log in as a B2B buyer. So each B2B buyer would have their own login, and you can control all of these shop accounts as well. So we're going to log in as Frank. Now, when we log in as Frank, we'll see some things have changed. So firstly, if I go through to road bikes, obviously the critical information is still there, but what we'll see, it's changed to euros because Frank's his default currency is euros, and it will do all of the conversions as well. And it will bring through their user specific pricing. So if you have customers or customer segments who are on different price lists through B2B, it will pull through the price for them. Which means when I'm shopping online as a customer and I'm dealing with you as a business, I know that if I phoned you up or talked to my sales rep and asked for what my price is, this is the price they're going to tell me, because this is the price that's been pulled through from my customer card within the ERP. And I think that is a key element to B2B shopping, is making sure the customers are getting the right price for them. So that's all been pulled through. And also I've decided to show them the stock levels. Rather than just showing in stock, out of stock and low stock. I think in this particular instance, in this demo environment, I probably wouldn't want to show them the stock levels because I can see I've got thousands in, so there's no necessary rush to buy. But if you were typically dealing with low stock numbers, and you wanted to show the customers how much you had in stock to make sure that they obviously placed orders, then you can do that from there as well. The other thing we'll see is rather than having an add to cart button through B2B buying, they don't typically buy ones of this and ones of that. So we can just go and add the numbers in from here, and there's just a floating add to cart button down the bottom. So as soon as I've added bulk products in, I can just add all of those to the cart, and we can see 260 products have now been added into my shopping cart. Okay, so that's an easier way to purchase through B2B buying. If we go into the shopping cart itself, we can review everything in here. If I go to add something in, so if we added something into the shopping cart, because typically you might find customers know which SKU codes they want to buy. They might buy the same things all the time. They might not navigate and browse around the store like a typical end user consumer would do. They just want to come straight to the shopping cart, add the products they want from here, and they can do that. We support that's pieces, boxes, each pack. So we can, however you actually need to ship, we can do that. And I'm just going to add those in. Now what we'll see is all the pricing just dropped out. And the reason why the pricing has dropped out is because I've just added a new product, which means I might have just triggered an offer. I might have triggered a bulk buy. You might have a sale agreement in place where prices will get adjusted if they buy a number of certain items or etc. So if we recalculate, it goes back to the ERP in real time, make sure the pricing calculations are done and any discount is applied, which means I know that all of this pricing is completely relevant to me. Okay. We can do things like saving as templates. So if you had 100 or 200 lines on this particular order and I didn't want to have to keep adding stuff in every time, I could save this as a template, and when I come into the shopping cart, I could load that template back up again, and it will put that template back into the basket, and it will go and check stock and check the right price, and then I can order from here. We can also support quotes. So if you wanted to get a quote, I could do that, and that would follow the quote approval process within the ERP. It will go back from there. Alternatively, I could just proceed to checkout here. And the example we're using in our checkout is a single step checkout, which we have found improves the B2B conversion rate. So it's more of an optimized checkout experience rather than going through multiple pages. We can just do it all through here, which basically cuts down shopping cart abandonment, especially when they're shopping through mobile. The address will be pulled through from the ERP, or if there are additional addresses stored within there, they can select the address they want to ship to, or they could add in a different address, which you could choose to be synced back to the ERP and added in as well. We support all global delivery methods, so whatever method you're currently using for shipping, we can support it, and they would select and it would populate the price. We also have integration with other solutions. If you ship on weight, for example, then it would basically look at the weight associated with each product on the order, and it would calculate the shipping cost based on the weight of the complete order, and we can support stuff like drop shipping as well if required. We could then pay. If it's B2B, typically you would have terms and it would just be a payment on account and I could place the order. Or if you had a PSP that was supported, we could select the PSP option, and then we could choose if we're paying by card. We support stuff like Sage Pay, Amazon Pay, Klarna. We support as well PayPal, so they could choose however they want to pay through there. But I'm just going to do an on-account payment for now, and we're just going to put a reference in here. So I'm just going to put T-Vision, and we'll just say this is 15th. We can also put comments in here as well. So something we tend to, not that they would anyway, because I think that order's a bit big, but don't leave in the bin is something that Amazon keep doing to us, is leaving stuff in the bin. So I was going, don't leave in the bin. And then we're going to go pay, and that's going to process that order. And just to show you that in real time, we're just going to come back into Business Central. And if I just go through to sales and our sales orders, we're going to find this order in here. So there we go. There's the order. So I can just edit that and view that. So there's no rekeying, there's no manual rekeying of this information. It comes straight through into the ERP, and I can go and review that, and that will follow the same sales order process you currently run within the business, and that's placed that directly. And we have two-way integration just to show you the comments in here. Don't leave in the bin. You can update this information and save that down. It might be a case, it might be a quote, and they've asked, say, well, I'll place this if you give me a certain amount of discount today, kind of thing. You can basically amend lines on here. You might not have that availability to stock, so you could say, well, actually, I'm only going to give you 40 units. You can make any amendments you want. And then if we come back just to show you that working in real time, if we go to the order page now, we will see that 10% discount has now been applied to that line. Okay, and you can see the comment has been updated because it's two-way integration. So just to show you how that works, that is a real simple benefit of integrated e-commerce. The fact that you can empower your customers to trust the actual website itself to place orders, and that will come straight back into the ERP. If you have salespeople within your business, and you're thinking, well, this would be really great if they could use this as a sales tool, because we have organizations who will have staff who go out with tablets to visit customers, or they'll be sat at home phoning out or receiving calls in. Then we also have a sales agent login. So our sales agent is sales, and I'll just put a password. So if we log in as a sales agent, they would have the option to represent a customer. So you would allocate all of their key accounts that they look after to them, and they would just come into here, hit select, and when they do that, they'd have access to all of their account information. So they would be able to go and track their orders for them, or look at an invoice, and also they could just go through and process a quote, or just check stock, or whatever it might be. They could use this to process quotes that would go back into the ERP, place an order on behalf of a customer, answer queries that customers might have coming into them without actually having to go anywhere near Business Central. Okay, so it's a really good use as a sales tool.
Alex?
Yes.
So we've just had another question around pricing. I don't know if you're going to cover that off later on, or...
No, what was the question?
Around pricing for the solution and different options. Were you going to cover that later on?
Sorry. Don't tend to cover off pricing today, just because different customers have different requirements, so that would depend on customizations. But okay, what I would say, I'm quite happy to give top level pricing if you're using Nav or Business Central. Then typically the solution would cost you around £1,350 a month with a £12,000 setup fee. Okay. Depending on the size of the business, if you have under 10 ERP users, then the pricing goes down to £900 a month with I think it's £7,000 implementation fees.
Cool, thank you. But as you say, obviously each business is going to have their own customization, so that is clearly a ballpark figure, and there's going to be a sort of a sliding scale, and whatever's required, then that's going to be added, can be added in as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of our customers who come to us, the majority, I'd probably say 95% of our solution is pretty much out of the box functionality. Okay. It's only, let's say if you were in like the My Account section or the shopping basket, and someone said, oh, can you have this button over here or this button down there, then we would say, well, okay, well, this is how long it's going to take us to do that customization, and then we would give them the quote back, and they decide whether that's going to be phase one because it's business critical, or sometimes it might be a case you actually get your e-commerce solution up and running, you get it all online, and then you actually start getting customer feedback. And they'll say, well, it'd be really good if you could have this there or this there, or it'd be useful if I'd be able to do this. Then that could be a second, third phase customization. So we do stuff like customizations after the product has actually launched.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends where you are in that e-commerce journey. Okay. So that's the sales agent login. And also just let you know, if you've got customers or customer segments that actually can only buy specific products from you, or you only want to display certain products to, then you can also do that. So if you're doing B2B, I'm just going to log in as Stephen here. If I get the password right, yeah, there you go. So what we see now, we have a different homepage image, with just a man on a bike, and actually the categories are only bikes, because that's all Stephen needs to see. That's only ever buys from us, so I can actually customize the content, and you can also do things like customize messages and things like that. So I've got hello Stephen. Obviously there's more you can add to this in the account section, so we can really start personalizing the shopping experience for different segments, or actual individual customers themselves. We can also do things I mentioned earlier about a portal, where actually if you're not quite ready to go full-blown e-commerce yet, but you're looking for a new corporate site and you want to display some of your products, you like the My Account section, so you'd like it if customers came in and actually, could look at quotes and download their own invoices or generate returns and do their own sort of admin, so really empowering the self-service element. We can do that as well. So if I just log in as that, it's Olivia, and I'm just going to go back. So when Olivia logs in, for instance, and navigates around the store itself, if she starts looking at products, oh, that's one of the example, looking at mower parts. So let's go to something else, shall we? Let's go to grass, there we go. So I can actually see the products, so the products still come through from the RP, so the integration's still there. If you want it to show like a catalog, but there's no stock or add to cart button. So there's no shopping cart. So they can view all around it and still look at the My Account section, but there's no ordering functionality. So we find that's quite popular with customers who are looking to start their e-commerce journey, and just get online and want to show some products and do the self-service, rather than those ready for full-blown e-commerce. So the option's there for portals if you're looking for a customer portal. So I think that's what I wanted to show you in the product right now. So I'm just going to pop back to our last few slides. Right. So how it really benefits you and your customers. So increased trust and loyalty. I think it's obviously very important. We talk to a lot of customers actually empowering their customers to pay multiple invoices at once using credit and debit cards can really improve that customer experience. And it's kind of that crossover between B2B and B2C. All the online and offline quote and order history 24/7 is really key as well. So, especially that'll help your back-end admin teams if you have constant customers always chasing you for documentation and paperwork. Just actually giving it to them available whenever they want it on any mobile device, it really does improve that sort of trust and loyalty with the customer base as well. And I think one thing key to mention about, I just showed the My Account section. That isn't necessarily what's been placed through the web store. So if they go and look at orders or want to track shipments, it doesn't mean that they have to place that through the store. We have some customers where they'll have maybe 50% of their customer base ordering online, the other 50% don't. But the ones that don't, like ordering through the salesperson, they're still using the self-service to go and check the status of the orders and quotes and things like that. And it's pulling the information from the ERP, which is really good. And being able to place like process returns and that online is a really good way of dealing with your customers. Creating those personalized storefronts as well. Personalized content is a really great way to improve customer retention. We basically built in a new visual designer last year. So it's a more sort of drag and drop functionality. So every single page you just saw on the website I showed, you can just drag and drop all the different elements around that page to really style to your own suit. So like I said, we do talk to a lot of customers who have to contact their own web developers and partners to change what the store looks like, whereas actually we empower you to change little things yourself. Or if you actually work with an agency, the agency can log in as well and control that. But we give you, yes, go on.
I was literally about to say, I've just had a question asking about how easy it is in terms of doing that and how much training you get given so you can do it yourself rather than having to pay your agency or, you know, or yourself to do things?
Yeah, so with our implementation costs, we train all of our customers to be able to control the content themselves. Even if you'll have marketing people within the business, or you want to export that, we can do that. So basically, what we've done, we give all of our customers the Sana admin area, which I showed earlier. So every single page on the website has a content page. So we have the About Us. We have all of the relevant pages within here. And if I go through, I've got my home page in here somewhere, no doubt. Outdoorer, Louis demo, it's one of these anyway. Everything's got an edit button. So if I just hit edit on here, that's the home page. And you can see all of these elements just will highlight when you go over them. So if I just hit edit that element, I can just go and change that image or change the text. If I wanted to move that around, I didn't want that there, then everything's just got a little drag and drop icon around it. If I didn't particularly want that there anymore, I wanted to change the message, we could just delete that element and take it out. We're basically trying to make this really, really easy and simple to use. So yeah, and you can preview as well, or if you had like an offer that was there, you could actually go and schedule that, and you could go schedule the time you wanted to show and when you wanted to turn off. So I think that this is the new visual designer we implemented last year, and we have a lot of people who use stuff like Shopify and Magento who may be using WordPress. It's a very similar interface. So we've tried to make it as easy to use across all of the system pages through the site itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, as you just saw then, styling those backgrounds, and you can add that video, you can animate all the rows and colors and things like that. But if you ever get stuck, like our support desk can help with things like that as well. So we make sure that all of our customers get the training, all their design agencies get the training to use it. We've come across customers where they haven't got experience with the React platform, but those sort of similar sort of design elements, and some of the stuff they've created with actually no training is unbelievable. So we know it's easy to use. The easier checkout, so as I mentioned there, we have a guest checkout option as well, which can help increase your conversion rates. I talked about that one-step checkout. Faster process with fewer mouse clicks, reducing that sort of cart abandonment and driving those sales is really key. But if you still want a traditional sort of multi-step checkout option, that is available. Enable customers to find what they need as well, so they can view all of their most popular items through the history from their ERP orders. There's also like a wish list, so it's basically like adding to favorites. So just like I do when I go and do my online Asda order, I just go straight to the favorites and pick the stuff I want that week. They can do that as well. And basically being able to use the data through our analytics tools and predict what their future orders are going to be. And basically we can do that and provide sort of product suggestions, and it can help upsell and cross-sell opportunities as well by suggesting those products and driving sales. And we have numerous customers come to us and say since they went with Sana, they've seen the average order values increase, because rather than just emailing in what they want, they're suddenly online and we're suggesting other products to them or accessories, and it's increasing that average order value. So customer empowerment is really key. Simplifying that order process, when you actually go into a previous order, you can just hit a reorder button. So as soon as you do that, it will just put everything from a previous order into the checkout, and it will just go and again check stock and check pricing. So it's a really easy and quick, simple way just to add stuff directly into the shopping cart, especially through B2B. We're just trying to simplify the process, and the easier we can make it through the store for them to buy, the more they're going to buy. So simplifying that process is something we're very focused on. And we don't want people to do returns, obviously, but when we do, we want to make the process simple. So we support full RMA, which is functionality that will come through for the returns, and it will pull through all of the return reasons that are listed within Business Central, and they can just go and submit them, and they'll go through authorization, and all those requests are registered within the ERP, following the rules that are in there. So making it easy for customers to return when they have to and be able to add in images maybe of faulty goods and things like that, we support. And increase the trust. We already talked about that and talked about the benefits of integration. I think, those price calculations are always accurate. If I phone my salesperson and he gives me a price, and then I go online and the price is different, so I have to chase it again to see which price is correct. We want to increase that trust, and because we're using the ERP data from their customer card based on all those pricing strategies, I think it really does build trust with your customers that no matter where they go to within their business, they're seeing the right price, the right stock, and it really will help them make those buying decisions and trust you as a business as well. So that is the last real slide. So just a little recap, really. Interface versus integrated, I wanted to touch on, and that really showed how the ERP integration can help you obviously manage all of the information in one place. How integrated e-commerce uses your business logic that you already have sat there now, so you have that single source of the truth. But really, I suppose improving the the customer experience is most important thing, I think, at the moment around e-commerce, with all of the information at their fingertips as well. That whole self-service element, the fact they can see the stock and the price and track quotes and orders, is something, the reason why, for instance, from a consumer perspective, Amazon is so popular, because I know that I've never had to talk to anybody. I can do everything online, and it can really simplify that ordering process and help customers to buy more. And using the data that you already have, we don't work standalone as a company. You can't just go out and get Sana and operate it without the ERP. We need to use that data that you've already invested in to power the store, which means you don't have to go and manage those disparate systems. And that's how we work with Business Central and Nav and TVision. And I hope you found that very interesting today.
So great, thank you, Alex, for telling us more about Sana Commerce. The link to the recorded webinar will be sent out soon. And also, as usual, we're sending out emails to register for the next one. So thank you so much for attending the webinar. Once I close the session, a survey will appear. And it'd be great if you could respond with some feedback. If you've got any questions or would like me to put you in touch with Alex, then just get in touch and email me at marketing@tvisiontech.co.uk. Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you very much. Cheers.